good?
It's good.
It's good.
It's good. All right.
Good. Guys, come on. Christopher Walken? Come on, guys.
Oh man.
All right.
That was good. Just good, clean fun.
Can't believe we prepared for this one, man. We never prepare.
We'll be good.
All right. All right, want me to dive us in?
Dive us in.
All right. Hey guys, Jordo, Seth here.
Yo.
Today we are talking about college.
Yeah.
That is a hot topic nowadays. There are 3 questions we're gonna answer. Number 1, do you need to go to college if you want to be an entrepreneur? That's an easy one.
No,
Seth, thoughts?
scratch it from the list.
Easy one. He says
a
no,
dumb one.
we're not gonna talk about that one.
We're not talking about that.
The new number 1, pros and cons of going to college. What are they?
Okay.
Number 2, should you get a college degree even if you are absolutely positive you want to start a business? It's a good question.
All good questions.
And number 3, if you have to go to college to please your friends and family, what should you study?
A lot of people have to go to college to please friends and family.
Yeah.
Parents.
I mean, it's the thing to do now. If you graduate high school, everybody's like talking about the scholarships they got to play football or baseball, or they got into Harvard.
Yep.
You know, they're valedictorian, and that's all great. You should excel at high school. You should be proud to go to a great college. I'm not saying it's bad to do well scholastically.
No, not at all.
It's a great thing.
It is.
But we're talking about entrepreneurs.
Wait, I thought
You know what?
we
Okay.
stop saying that word.
We hate that word.
We
We're gonna
really
stop
do.
saying it. We're gonna say business owners, people that want to be business owners.
Okay.
We're talking about people that want to be business owners in college.
Okay.
So let's start with question number 1.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
You've also done a good job of not swearing anymore.
I know.
I think you've done like 3 or 4 episodes of not swearing. I talked with him, you guys. I know.
Yeah, guys.
I know he's offending some people. There's a few expletives in episode 1 and 2, but we've been clear after that. So.
Yeah. Sorry about that, y'all.
It's all right. We're very
Moving on.
Yep.
Pros and cons of going to college. Now we both wrote down 3 each. There are pros, obviously, to going to college if you want to start your own business, but there are also cons. And we are going to give you 3 each. We did not collaborate on these, so hopefully they're different.
Okay.
Seth, what is your first pro?
So the first pro I wrote down about going to school, if you know you want to be a business owner in your life, is it is a good independence test. You throw yourself into the ring, you throw yourself into this little small simulation of what it's like to be on your own, have to make your own food most of the time unless you got like a cafeteria, have to like interact with teachers, interact with friends, collaborate with people. You have to navigate this convoluted system of higher education and figure out how to be successful in it.
Yeah.
Now, learning how to be successful in an environment like that is a lot like learning how to be successful in a business environment. So for that reason, I think it's a pro.
Yep, I wrote down that one as well.
Literally?
I literally wrote it.
Literally wrote independence
Independence
test.
as my second one.
Okay.
Because it is an independence. When you get onto a campus for the first time, you have no idea where the heck you're supposed to go. But you know you gotta go get that loan, you gotta find your class schedule, you gotta find buildings, and nobody's helping you unless you have somebody that's already at school that can show you the ropes. But it's independent. Nobody's waking you up in the morning.
True.
Nobody's telling you you're doing a great job. You're on your own. You're fine. For the first time in your life, you are off your mother's teat.
Yeah, I will say I remember waking you up in the morning a few times though.
Yeah.
And vice versa for exams and stuff. But the point stands. The point stands, your mom is no longer accountable to wake you up in the morning, so.
Very true. All right, so the first point that I have as a pro is friendships. So college is great for networking purposes. I know that if you join like a fraternity or a sorority and things like that, you build a lot of great long-lasting friendships, and those are awesome because you need to have relationships to be a business owner. If you're a terrible people person, it's not going to be as easy for you to be a business owner as it would be for somebody that's really, really, really great at talking to people and has a lot of connections, because the more people you know, the better. You all know the saying, it's all about who you know. There's something to that.
I 100% agree, and that was my number 3.
Nice.
Meet smart and talented people, hashtag relationships. I think one thing we figured out through the experience is relationships really is everything. It helps so much to know people. It helps so much to have the connections, because as much as you might think that being a small business owner is just putting your head down, getting in a computer and building a digital product or a website and like, you know, selling things.
Yeah, it's not.
People don't buy from businesses, they buy from people. I was just talking to somebody yesterday who's been working on his brand, and he's gonna try to do business while he's working for another business and keep it private. I was just like, man, like, especially in the early days, people aren't gonna buy from Ted's, you know, widgets. They're gonna buy from freaking Ted Mosby.
Yeah.
You are the business. You are the business. They're buying from you. People don't buy from businesses, they buy from people.
Yep. That's a great one. Yeah, we both put friendships, relationships. All right, what was your third?
So my third pro for going to school, if you know you want to be a business owner, is you get a lot of exposure to new ideas. You are going to be around people that you did not grow up around. They're going to have different belief systems than you. They're going to go to a different church than you. They're going to have different moral codes than you. You're going to be a little bit rocked from your normal day-to-day grind. And I think that is great for entrepreneurship or being a small business owner. I also think that on the same token, if you're not really sure what you want to do yet or what you want to dedicate your small business ownership to, it's a good chance to get to to play in a lot of different sandboxes, take a lot of different classes, explore a lot of different possibilities, and figure out what it is that you might want to do with your career.
Okay.
Exposure to new ideas. I think that's important.
Yeah, that's a good one. My third and final pro is I put problem solving / stress. So for me, what I experienced for the first time in my life was true stress in college and having to deal with those things and learn how to cope and keep moving forward. I think college also teaches you how to fail. For me, like most people, I would assume high school's easy. You can barely study and you can get A's on exams.
Yeah.
College, you can study for months and you can still fail an exam. Or at least that was how it was for me for a couple classes.
You studied microbiology though. You were pre-med.
I did, yeah.
That's like a whole different animal.
Yeah. You learn how to fail in college, and I think that's a great thing to learn how to do.
Yeah.
And deal with stress.
Agreed.
So.
Yeah. So in summary, there's a lot of pros to going to college, sounds like. Pros. Even if you want to be a small business owner. Let's jump into some cons.
Cons. Seth, what is your first con?
My first con is, it's actually a three-part. I wrote down debt, stress, and runway.
Ooh. So you put stress as a con. Because it is a double-edged sword.
Yes. So the reason I have it as a con is because, well, the debt part. I think that I'm not talking about stress in school, I'm talking about stress after school. Going to school is you're now graduating with this chunk of debt. Call it 30, 36, 39. I think we looked up the average student loan debt from 2017 is $39,000. And that's like up from $34,000 in 2016 or something like that. So the problem's getting worse, friends. It's not good. Now, the reason I have debt down is because when you graduate and you want to go out on your own, you're quickly going to figure out how much money do I need to be making to make ends meet. So you're going to do all your calculations, and you're going to calculate your rent, your utilities, your car payment, your insurance, your food, your water, your gas, and then you're going to say, oh crap. I decided to go to school for the last 4 years. I went and partied with my friends. I went and had a good time. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. Now I have these debt payments that are coming due.
Yeah.
You get like a year, right, before they start hitting?
Yeah, you have a 6 month.
6 months.
6 month
grace period.
Yeah, before you gotta start paying those things off.
So one thing I talk about with a lot of other small business owners is how it's nice to have a lot of runway. That's the good thing about starting a business in the Midwest. Yeah, you're not gonna have the sex appeal starting on one of the coasts, but you've like maybe 4 or more times the runway if you start in the Midwest where it's a lot cheaper to live.
Yeah.
Your runway gets a little bit lower if you're making school debt payments. So that's con.
Yep.
I digress a little bit.
I have that as my first con is it's expensive. And when I say expensive, I mean for the first time in your adult life, you are, without even knowing, accruing a ton of debt. So, I mean, I'm gonna tell you how much I graduated with loans. I graduated with $57,000 in student debt.
A little higher than the average.
And that was through working part-time through college to pay my rent for where I live. So that was straight tuition. And that isn't even books, because we'll talk about that later. I never bought books because that's the biggest ripoff in college.
Yeah.
Don't buy books. Yeah, $57,000. It is expensive to go to college. We don't even have that much. $57,000 would pay for everything we have for our small business right now.
Yeah.
Would have bought our van, all of our supplies, uniforms, paid part of a salary.
I mean, yeah, it would have paid, like a full.
And that's worth thinking about. That's worth thinking about.
It is.
So, it's expensive. It's a big con to think about.
All right, should I jump into con number 2 for me?
Do it.
I think another con of going to school, if you know you want to be a business owner, is you will further entrench yourself into the cookie cutter knowledge and learning system. So when you graduate college or you leave high school and then you go into the real world, the way that you learn and the way that you solve problems is drastically different than how you do that in this protected system of higher education. Mm-hmm. And I think that the longer you stay in higher education, the longer you're in this system of, I have a problem, I can go to my professor, I can go to my teacher's aide, I can look it up in my textbook, the longer you're like dependent upon this small circle of where you know you can find your solution, the worse it is for you. The harder it is to get out of that eventually.
That's why people literally stay in college forever.
Yeah.
They never leave. They keep getting another graduate degree.
Yeah.
And then when they stop getting graduate degrees, they decide they want to get their PhD so they can be a professor.
A lot of people
literally never leave.
A lot of people think that college is like this, like you go in and it's this like crazy world of like, it's super complicated to figure out and it's like hard to survive and oh my gosh, how did I graduate college? I actually think it's like going into a bubble. It's like this protective bubble. People want you to be successful. Your teachers want you to get good grades. It's like everything's within a mile. Everything you need is in a mile radius. You know who to go to get help on this. You can go to the bursar and say, oh yeah, blah blah blah.
Free healthcare.
Yeah. It's like a simulated real life, but also like really easy simulated real life.
That one kind of falls into mine.
Okay.
I wrote down proximity is power as a con, because you spend, at least 3 years to graduate is what it takes.
Oh yeah.
Proximity is power. So 3 years you're getting used to, and like whatever drive you had to start your small business has just a tiny bit been diminished over 3 years, because you're around people that don't care. You're around people that are partying. They're getting a degree just because they play sports, or they're just getting a degree because their parents are paying for their college.
Right.
Like they didn't really like have a dream of going to college when they were young, like some people. But that's bad to be around. You want to be around hungry people all the time. And college doesn't, for the most part, those people aren't in colleges. Those people are grinding usually at the night schools.
Yeah.
They're working full time. They're going to night class after their day job, grinding, trying to get a degree so they can get a job to get their family out of whatever they're in.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think that's a big con of college, is it used to be something where people went and they truly learned and collaborated. Now it's just you sit down, you're presented a lecture, you're given a test, you fail the test, you pay for it anyways.
Yep.
So.
All right, con number 3 for me. You give yourself a ship. If you've ever heard people talk about this, they say when you go into entrepreneurship, when you really decide to put it all on the table, burn your ships. Don't turn back. Don't have an option B. Don't have a way to say, oh, this really didn't work out for me, so I'm just going to use my degree in accounting to go get an accounting job at my local corporate.
Yeah.
A con of going to school is that you're gonna give yourself a ship. You're gonna give yourself an out. You're gonna give yourself a lucrative income to be able to go take advantage of one day. Mm-hmm. And if your true desire and your true passion, your true calling is to be an entrepreneur or a small business owner, I'm working on the transition.
Yeah.
Don't give yourself a ship. Don't do it. Because it's tempting. It's hard to go from making a good amount of money right out of school because you had a college degree to now being like, not.
That's a good one. If you have nowhere to go but succeed, you're not gonna fail. True. There's no other option.
Yeah, if you don't have an option, you're gonna figure it out. It's like what's the analogy? The rat and, never mind. It's a bad one.
Yeah, I don't know analogy for that one. My third one, and the final con, is it takes at least 3 years to get a degree. And that is 3 years that you could have potentially been starting your business. It took 6 years for me.
It's a long time.
6 years and $57,000 of debt to get a molecular biology degree that I don't use every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying college is bad here. I'm just saying for the person that wants to start a business, this is a huge con. This is a huge con.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, that answers question number 1. We covered the pros and cons of going to college. Number 2, should you get a college degree even if you are absolutely positive you want to start a business? This is a very, you're not wrong or right question, but for the sake of having opinions, we're gonna give you our opinion of this answer. We're not gonna dance around it. So Seth, what are your thoughts?
Put me on the spot, man.
Should you get a college degree if you want to start your own business?
It completely depends on your situation. It's that simple.
Yeah.
If you're paying for the school yourself, I would highly caution you against it. I was very lucky, and my parents paid for my school, and so for me, it wasn't as high of a opportunity cost because the only sacrifice I made was time. I did not have to sacrifice money and put myself further back from being able to being able to pursue it. So I think it completely depends on your situation. If you're, help me out here. I don't know. I don't think there's not an obvious answer here.
I'm gonna throw out an answer that I wish I would have done.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes. I know I just rambled about how much I disliked my college experience. I loved my college experience, but looking back, man, was it worth it?
Yeah.
So should you get a college degree, even if you're positive you want to start your own business? I'm going to say yes, but go to a community college. Go to a community college and take some classes while working. Get a job for somebody. Figure out what you want to do with your life, because I want to start a business. If you know you want to be a businessman, okay, well, do you have an idea? Do you know what you want to do? You need to take classes to learn what you need.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go get a 4-year degree, maybe get an associate's. That way, if you do happen to want to mentor or what is it called? You want to get under the tutelage of somebody? Maybe they're only, the tutelage, maybe they're only accepting people with degrees. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said about learning and independence. I think it helps.
That's a really good recommendation. I completely agree, because
it's free, people.
Your first 2 years, you're underage anyway, so you can't really participate legally or responsibly in the fun festivities that college normally brings.
Yeah.
And plus, I think it's a no-brainer. Go to your community college, because most of that stuff's free anyways.
Yep.
And like you said, work part-time. Figure out, what is it? Do I really want to be a small business owner? And if so, what line of business do I want to be in? Do I want to be some kind of mechanical engineer? Do I want to work in software engineering?
Yeah.
Do I want to work in sales?
If you are fresh out of high school and you reach out to companies just saying you want to intern, I will literally do anything you need. I want to be a business owner myself, and I need to learn what it's like. I need to learn from somebody. People are going to respond to you and they're going to say yes.
Yeah.
We will take you in. We will teach you things. We understand you're going to school too. They're going to respect that.
Yeah.
Those types of people are difficult to find.
You don't want to learn from professors. You want to learn from the people you want to be like. If you want to be a professor, go to school. Go learn from professors. But we're talking about people that want to be small business owners. And professors are not small business owners. There is not a whole lot of overlap there.
They're not small business
owners. Go learn
owners.
from the people you want to be like. Great recommendation.
Yeah. Go to community college. Get a job. Figure out what you want to do. That's my answer.
Yeah, and if you decide you want to finish college, it's only 2 years of having to pay for hopefully in-state tuition for you or whatever. So
exactly. All right. Question number 3. If you have to go to college to please your friends and family, what the heck should you study as a small business owner with small business owner aspirations?
Okay, so say you tell your mom and dad, hey, I'm gonna work for myself the rest of my life, but they're like, honey, we really want you to go to school.
We've been saving for your college fund for 18 years. You're going to college.
If you're in that situation, ask them if you could just take that money as seed money, though.
Oh yeah.
Because it would be fun as hell to start your business career with $50,000 in the bank.
Oh yeah, it would. But, so I studied molecular biology, and it does, I mean, I don't know, it really doesn't come into play at all.
Mine comes into play.
Yours does. You studied finance.
I studied finance, and so I'm able to do our business's accounting, and I know the ropes as far as like raising money, interest rates, and all that stuff. That being said, like 99% of what I studied in school was like corporate finance and just this crap garbage you'll never, ever, ever use.
Yeah.
You will only use that stuff if you become the CFO of your like corporate one day. Mm-hmm. So not even, I mean, I went and worked in finance for corporate America right out of school. Used none of it.
Yeah.
Used none of it.
Business calculus, they say this is what all of the people are doing. That's not true.
No.
I had to take business calculus for pre-med requirement. And it was a tough class.
It was tough.
And I have not had to use any of it, but that's because Seth does all the finances here. So what I think you should study if you're gonna go to college, I hands down think you should do finance.
Really?
Because somebody that can handle their finances can run a business. Because all a business is a transaction. This for that, quid pro quo.
Yeah.
But you gotta make money.
True.
So if you understand money, you can understand business and you can run your own business. If you don't know how to do your finances, you're gonna have a tough time.
Yeah. For me, if I could go back and do it all again, I would either do computer science or mechanical engineering.
Computer science?
Either, both engineering.
Yeah.
Both engineering. Only because that kind of scratches my itch, not necessarily because I think it's like critical to being a small business owner by any means.
Yeah.
You know, I think success in being a small business owner is being resourceful, right? You're never gonna be able to learn beforehand everything that you need to know. So you better be good at figuring out things on the fly.
Yeah.
Better be good at working with people. That's something I can definitely get better at. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, to your point, business is good.
Yeah, honestly, whatever degree you get, it's not going to necessarily matter because you're going to be starting your own business. Nobody's going to be interviewing you.
True.
When you start your own business, you make the rules. You make the rules. You choose who to hire.
So what about just following their curiosity then?
Yeah, I mean,
writing
after hearing your answer,
literature?
like, I would have gone to school for like musical theater or something.
Right. Yeah.
Because I would have enjoyed it at least.
Because you can start a business in musical theater too.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, being a small business owner is all about figuring out creative ways to add value to people that aren't currently being done. Solving problems, right? And you can do that in literally any category. You can do that in education.
Yeah, you can.
You don't you don't study business to go into business. You study business to go solve people's problems.
Yeah, there's somewhere along the line, college, it went wrong. It went from a place where people, because when it first started out, there was one book that somebody had, and that book contained all of this knowledge that you had to pay to get access to. Yeah. And so it was a place of learning and a place of like, it wasn't part, it was focus. And then over the years, the books multiplied. College became affordable because now they're giving out loans like candy. They'll give anybody a student loan because they want you to be indebted to them forever.
Right.
But nowadays, you can find out just about anything you want through Google or watching a YouTube video.
True.
So, I mean, geez, people, if you don't want to go to college, don't feel bad about that. You can learn just as much as somebody that's in college by going on to Khan Academy on YouTube.
Yep.
You can Google just about any answer.
Yep.
Any articles, Reddit.
And you can always go back to college. You can always, if you try 2 years out of high school, you graduate high school, spend 2 years trying to do your own thing. If you find out like this isn't for me, go back to school. And on the same token, don't be in a rush. Don't make it about like I have to start my business tomorrow. So it's very individualistic, and you're gonna have to make just like being a small business owner, you gotta call the shots and you gotta be the one to swallow the pill at the end of the day, So make your own decisions. Don't rely on us to give you the answer. Time to be a big boy, big girl.
We got 2 pro tips for those of you who are gonna choose to go to college. Number 1, You're maybe not aware of this, but in your tuition, you are paying for what is called a grass walking fee. Look it up on your bursar statement. You're paying to walk on grass. So if you're walking on the sidewalks on campus, you are paying for something you don't use. So I advise you to only use the grass because you're paying for that. Okay? Walk in the grass. Number 2, textbooks. Seth and I agree, probably the biggest ripoff of college. You buy a $250 textbook that you use for a semester, and then they buy it back from you for $20. What is our solution to this? Don't buy them. I didn't buy a textbook after my freshman year of college. I would go to the library, I would take a picture of every page in the chapter of that week, and then I would just do it off of my phone, and I saved probably $1,100 a semester because of not doing that.
There are people in this world that are laughing very, very, very hysterically around a big conference table, and the butt of the joke is the people that buy textbooks. Don't do it.
Don't buy textbooks, people.
Don't do it.
If you buy a textbook, go halvesies with like a group of 10 people.
Yeah.
And go copy those things. You can make copies of the book so much cheaper. Or go to the library. They have the books at the library. Don't be lazy.
Yep.
Don't pay for things just because everybody else. If you want to be a small business owner, you cannot be a sheep.
Be resourceful.
You have to be the black sheep.
Black sheep. Yep.
Sorry,
I got a rapid fire question for you, Jordo.
Alright.
If you could be any entrepreneur in the world, alive or dead, for a day, who would that person be?
For a day?
For a day. Any entrepreneur in the world.
Walt Disney.
Man, that seems obvious now that I've asked it.
Walt Disney, but the other thought that came to my head is Lin-Manuel Miranda, the guy who wrote In the Heights, the play, and Hamilton.
Okay, why Walt Disney?
The guy created an entire entertainment industry and a world. Basically everything Disney was just an idea. He turned nothing into a huge thing, a mouse, a cartoon, into a gigantic, world-renowned entertainment company. And now they have theme parks all over the place in Paris, Shanghai, California, Florida.
Why can't you do that?
I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I will.
All right, that's all we got. You got anything else?
No, guys, that's it. That's all we've got. We hope this is helpful. The takeaway here is think long and hard about college. Don't just go because everybody else is, like I did. Well, I honestly went because I didn't plan on being in business, but think about it. Don't just do it. Make decisions based on what your goals are.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing what lets me sleep at night is knowing that this guy is not going to be operating on me.
Very true. You don't want me being your doctor. I got shaky hands.
Just your life coach.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys, for your time. We'll see you next time.